Hey Ben, so I'm going to read from my blog, the FBI Trap Trial blogspot, FBI Trap Trial for the Blind. You're the inspiration for this new piece. For Tiresias. Now, clearly the blind were leading the blind. Now, in 1998, Bill Caesar got me a job as an assistant to a blind woman, Estelle Condra, the heroic actress and teacher and writer, who was using technologies to keep her work pace in high motion. Text to speech. Sometimes I helped her with her manuscripts. Other times I did silly things like pick up lobster bisque in Hillsborough Village. All in all, I was tremendously moved by her adherence to her own dignity, integrity, moved. So now a funny thing happened to me this year. I fell in love with the blind boy, Benjamin Pickering, also a Portland police brutality victim. Well, one must understand that blindness in one eye is not just 50% blindness, but more like 70% blindness with loss of depth perception and spatial limitations. Not to mention the crushing effects of traumatic brain injury, and that's before the skull crushers of the Portland police came along to bash Blindy. So never would I expect to be looking the Portland police ineptitude in the face again. The horror story of a car fire accident victim being engulfed in flames and then tasered by police, a story which I read on Portland Indie Media in 2005 or 2006, sent me running again from Alphabet Town. Now truly, what is fascinating about the lowbrow, lowball ineptitude of the FBI is that now they can in some ways race the Portland police to the bottom. So while Portland police will beat Blind Boy, scrubbing his blind eye across the ground as they smash his head beset by grievous traumatic brain injury and subsequent coma and blindness and a host of maladies, well, it is rather fanciful and grotesquely tragic to imagine an FBI trap trial for the blind. You see, what is so fortunate for my friend who was designated special education prior to the horrific blinding accident at age 10 is that by virtue of his blindness and dyslexia, or rather the severe head pain he gets upon attempting to read, the Portland police merely elected to smash his head, bruise and maim his blind eye, and nearly gouge out his right seeing eye, whilst if he were given an FBI trap trial for the blind, he might have got an agent provocateur violence coaching to blow stuff up in Braille or via books on tape or some such. Why doesn't the FBI want blind or vision impaired FBI trap trial victims? Much as the FBI fails to provide equality of fake bomb accessibility to women and girls, the FBI fails to provide equality of access to fake bombs to the blind in compliance with the Americans with Disabilities Act. Now, don't get me started on their predation of medically vulnerable teens and suicidal youth. That's obviously messed up. So if the FBI is going to pre-select for suicidal thoughts, drug addiction, social isolation, past history of psychosis, etc., to launch an FBI fake bomb trap trial extravaganza, they might as well start putting it in Braille of accessible formats for vision impaired and other special needs. There's an app for that.
They are rude.
No, dog. Sorry. So when the Portland police are taking pot shots at the blind, beating them in nondescript trailer park tavern locations near the Nude Girls establishment on Sandy 8800 block, I just wonder why the Joint Terrorism Task Force doesn't get involved with the Portland police barbarians and start giving them a how to build a fake bomb in Braille books for total counterterrorism, effectiveness, predation on the medically vulnerable, so the public can know how big and manly the FBI is on any given day, to not just sit around smashing the cracked skulls of blind kids, but actually turn a blind kid and turn him into a pimped out FBI fake bomb show superstar, like any or all of their fake bomb extravaganza, making lots of dough up at DC's famous senior center called Senate Intelligence Committee. No, I'm just kidding. Sadly, my sarcasm burns with the fury of Michael Hastings' Mercedes. Now, I often wonder about the small-town realpolitik of the FBI bomb pushers and their bomb pusher welfare recipients and assorted contrarians. I wonder how many of them secretly work for the Whitey Mob or KGB, etc. At the end of the day, we're all still the blind leading the blind. And by now, the broke leading the broke, as sixpence none the richer Ransom told me. Tell them what they're doing wrong, and I say, by Jove, super entrapment of the ultra-vulnerable. Das ist schlecht. They'll have FBI trap trials in Braille in no time, at this rate, God willing. Ang, Mary Rose Lenore for Helen Keller, 15 July 2013. Happy birthday, Bill Caesar. Chief Bromden in our 1990s adaptation of One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest under Bart Whiteman of Montgomery Bell Academy. Thanks for listening, Benjamin Pickering.
Let's watch what we did.